We're diving into the life of Formula One's most vibrant and entertaining characters. The man with the grin, the man with a plan, the man that can. Yes, it's Daniel Ricciardo. This Aussie sensation has been in a whopping 234 races. He's got 8 race victories under his belt, a bit like 8 slices of that victory pizza. But here's the plot twist. The one shiny trophy that's eluded him like a roadblock in a street race is the F1 Drivers' Championship. Yeah, he's had some close calls, but it's like being inches away from that finish line only just to run out of gas. No. But let's rewind the tape a bit, shall we? Oh, I'm in a good mood today. Young Daniel Ricciardo's love affair with racing ignited when he was a mere 9 years old. It was like a lightning bolt hitting him when he first hopped into a kart. And I don't mean Mario Kart with bananas and turtle shells. Starting at the Tiger Kart Club, little Ricciardo showcased his talent. And it wasn't long before folks said, hey, this kid's got something. Sure, there were bumps along the road. At the Sandown Raceway in Melbourne, he wrestled with a 13-year-old Van Diemen car, which was obviously leased. Let's just say it wasn't a smooth ride. But, you know, even the best racers have to start somewhere. Daniel competed in the Western Australian Formula Ford Championship, and as you'd expect, he performed brilliantly. It's safe to say the kid was on a high-speed joyride to glory. The next year, he took on the Australian Formula Ford Championship. And yes, you guessed it, another series in which his performance awed the spectators. There's a pattern here, huh? He'd earned his stripes and was set to move up the ranks. Then, in 2007, after a stellar 6th place finish in Formula Renault 2.0 Italia, the Red Bull Junior team said, Hey, Danny Rick, you're on the team. That's like literally getting a call from the Avengers to join their ranks. Racing in Formula 3 and making his debut at the Nürburgring in 2008, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, but our boy Danny persevered. Fast forward to 2009 and boom! He snags the British F3 Championship. This victory opened the doors to the big leagues, aka Formula Renault 3.5, where he'd soon face the racing equivalent of Mount Everest. In Formula Renault 3.5, it was game on. 2010 season had its share of battles and scrapes, but Ricciardo finished just 2 points shy of being crowned champ. It's like being the bridesmaid, as I said before, but not the bride. You're so close to that victory. Now, the big break comes when he steps onto the Red Bull racing scene. It's like the moment you realise you're driving a rocket ship instead of a family saloon. The young driver's test at Circuito di Jerez, my pronunciation, in 2009 was his ticket, and boy, did he make it count. This kid turned heads and set the fastest lap time of the event. It's like getting a high score in that video game with a crowd watching on. His racing prowess had everyone's heads turning, and F1 teams were knocking at his door, and that's how the legend of the Honey Badger started. In 2011, HRT signed Ricciardo as a test driver, and soon enough, he made his debut for Toro Rosso, Red Bull's sister team, as part of the Red Bull Junior team program. Yeah, I know. The Ricciardo era in Formula One was officially in gear. Now, here's where the real fun begins. 2014 marked Daniel's first season with Red Bull Racing. And you know what that means? It's like graduating to the big leagues where every racer dreams of being. Of course, they all dream to be in that Formula One space. The highlight of his first season, well, that's easy. Canadian Grand Prix, of course, where he pulled off an incredible win, leaving us with his iconic shoey celebration. For those who haven't witnessed it, that's when Daniel drinks champagne from his racing boot. Classic Aussie. This win was a statement that the Honey Badger was here, and he wasn't playing around. He made the Mercedes duo of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg run for their money, as Danny went on to win 2 more races in that season at Hungary and at Belgium. This is his debut in Formula One, and he was the only non-Mercedes driver to win a race during the entire season. Talk about making a grand entrance. He might not have won the championship that year, but he showed the world what he was made of. But 2015 brought new challenges, with a new teammate in Daniel Kvyat. It's like teaming up with a new partner in a salsa dance competition. You gotta find your groove together. God, what am I up to today? Unfortunately, that season, Danny couldn't manage to battle with the likes of Ferrari, Mercedes and Williams, and scored a couple of podiums in Hungary and Singapore. But the smiling Aussie has still got more to give. Now, the year 2016 was a game changer. It's like the new kid on the block, Max Verstappen, showed up and started breakdancing while Ricciardo was doing the tango. But Ricciardo doesn't back down. He keeps on pushing. The competition within the team is like a bake-off, only with tyres and engines. The dynamics at Red Bull was shifting and Verstappen looked like the future champ. Ricciardo wasn't going to play second fiddle, and the team, they had to make some tough calls. Batman or Superman. Both superheroes, but with totally different capes. The battle between these two drivers reached a boiling point in the 2018 season, especially after the 2018 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. On lap 40, while battling for the 4th place, the inevitable happened. It's the worst nightmare for any team principal. Ricciardo, coming in hot behind Verstappen, was affected by the dirty air and couldn't manage to stop in time, and he slammed right into the gearbox of Max's car. The look on Christian Horner's face was one I will never ever forget. And I will keep referencing the 2016 Rosberg versus Hamilton crash, but isn't it similar to that in some way? By the end of 2018, Ricciardo surprised everyone with this shocking move to Renault. It's like swapping a Ferrari for a family minivan. But this was a statement. He wanted to be the main driver, not just some sidekick. Renault had its ups and downs, but the following 2 seasons were not ones to remember for our beloved Aussie. He finished P9 in 2019 and P5 in 2020. The Renault engine was just not built for the wins. However, McLaren came knocking, and the 2021 season was like a slice of heaven. Ricciardo secured a win at the challenge-filled Italian Grand Prix. It's like hitting that bullseye with a marshmallow. He also led the team's 1-2 finish at that time, with Norris finishing second. For a moment there, it kind of felt like we were seeing the old Danny Ric back in action. You know, the one in 2014, doing the shoeies and just making everyone smile. What a guy. But McLaren wasn't all fun and games. Norris was like the young protege, showing the veteran a thing or two. It's like watching your brother beat you at video games. You're happy, but you're also just a bit annoyed. And how do you feel about it? So the year 2022 saw a big shape-up in F1's technical regulations. McLaren massively missed the target and were just not able to compete with the top teams. Ricciardo, no matter how hard he tried, just couldn't get any performance out of that car. The team struggled and Ricciardo found himself in a tricky situation. The car just wasn't doing what he wanted it to do. The smile of the Aussie slowly started fading away, and as fans, for me, it was really heartbreaking to see him in that situation. As the season wore on, McLaren decided to cut some slack. They wanted Oscar Piastri to take the wheel, and that meant Ricciardo was left without a racing seat for 2023. But here's where it gets interesting. At the Mexican Grand Prix in 2022, there were some hush-hush conversations between Ricciardo and Christian Horner of Red Bull. It was like a secret meeting between spies in the world of F1. The talks led to a surprising twist. Ricciardo was coming back to Red Bull as a test and reserve driver for 2023. What is it about the prodigal son who returns? In the Red Bull simulator, Ricciardo was like a virtuoso pianist returning to the keys for one last time. He showed he still had that magic touch. In the testing session for the Red Bull team driving the RB19 later on in the 2023 season, he set the fastest lap time at the Silverstone track. Oh boy! He even set time faster than the dominant Max Verstappen. Yeah, you heard that right. Although not in a race, but he did manage to outpace Max Verstappen in his RB19 car. Now, he just needed that opportunity, and it came bashing through the door in the form of an AlphaTauri seat. With Nick de Vries not living up to expectations at AlphaTauri, they waved him goodbye and handed the keys to Ricciardo. But with an unlucky accident at the Zandvoort track, Ricciardo is recovering from the injuries. He will be returning soon, hopefully at the US GP, and we're about to witness the return of a racing legend. And that's all from today's video. What do you think about this underdog to Top Gun life story of Daniel Ricciardo? Hey, and could he manage to snatch another win soon? You need to let me know in these comments. I need to see more comments, and I need to see you smashing that like button, hitting that subscribe, bosh, and make sure you're turning on those bell notifications so you never ever miss another video from me. They're coming all the time, multiple times a week, so make sure you are subscribing. But that's it from me, Technic. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.